TikTok and all of my people from my Facebook to join my YouTube channel. And so they can see or hear me speak up on the things that happened to me in the past year. I actually was just trying to look at like stock marketing or like Bitcoin type of stuff, because at this point, like I'm not able to like really apply for a job. And if I do and try to go through the company and they run my background check, they'll see that I have 4 misdemeanors pending. I've never been charged as being guilty. I'm actually being pushed towards what they would say is psychological evaluated. So if you choose to express your feelings, emotions, or be yourself in Illinois, then you might be deemed as crazy if people don't understand you. So for at some point in this matter, my child has never been neglected, never been harmed, never been hurt. I worked 2 jobs to get this lovely apartment that you can see right here. I took out my school retirement in order to furnish it, because it was like at that point, like I was trying to keep up with the bills and I didn't really have a lot left extra. But I guess I could have just went to like Goodwill or, shopped at some place, like, somebody's house or something for hand me down and stuff. But that's just something I didn't want to do. I wanted to work and then like slowly, like, have the extra money to be able to furnish my place. So I did before my son got here. I furnished his place and made it all nice and put $1,000 worth of stuff up in there for him. And sure he had a desk so he can do his work and a bed so he can sleep on. I actually got bunk beds on purpose because he's never slept by himself. He's never slept in a room by himself, because when I got 4 jobs and moved me and my husband out, we got a 1 bedroom. So my son was in there. And then when we lived with their in-laws, we lived in the room that, my son was born in. So on December 15, I was attacked and got my hair pulled out, and I've been going to several hearings. So the public defender that I got, instead of her setting my trial and showing my evidence, and what my evidence showed, that the police literally picked up my phone and deleted the video out of my phone. But obviously it's an iPhone, so you can re-get the video. And I'm not technology like really savvy. I'm learning it a little by little now, like jumping into social media world, testing trials, failing and learning it. But I learned that a week so after that I could find deleted videos out, because I don't really ever delete anything. So I found that I could find deleted videos, and I have the video in my phone. So pretty much, I was upset, I was mad, I was talking loud. And so he, I guess, thought that was the reason, but he never read me my rights. He put his hands on me without permission. He ran 50 feet over from telling me to move back, after I was standing there, ran 50 feet over to put handcuffs on me, literally. Threatened me when I was in the jail set and told me like, oh, you better not run. Like I'm gonna do something stupid, so you can't like add more charges like that. That would just be crazy. But the charges they put on me, they said, I battery and assault, but I actually end up with all the bot spots. If you go onto my TikTok, you will see like the police who arrest me, the white guy, like blonde hair, really heavy, big guy. You know what I'm saying? And he's sitting there hollering like I'm resisting arrest, but he's like almost 400 pounds. There is no way, if you're standing behind me, your big ass stomach on my back, and there's a car in front of me, that I would be resisting arrest or running from you. I'm standing right in front of my house, and I called the police first. So if I'm calling the police first, what the fuck am I running from? Or why would I even be thinking that I'm going to get arrested or any of that? You get what I'm saying? So that's stupid for a person to call the police, knowing that, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you were the person who actually did the attacking. Like if I feel like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm like, oh, I'm finna go and do such and such, and like, I'm not gonna call the police right after. That's dumb as hell. Like, are you serious? Like, like that's seriously. So the shit that she was saying, it don't even add up. Like if you see the pictures and see the video and all of that, like you spat on me and you literally put my fucking hair on my head. I've never put my hands on you, like period at all. But anyway, the last hearing that I had, because this public defender is sending me towards, a psychiatric evaluation, blah, blah, blah. Because, Black women, we can't be Black women, okay? We can't be ourselves. We can't be who we are, because we get categorized and we get put in these little bubbles. And, oh, we're not smart, but I made it all the way through an all-white college with a biological science degree, okay? But, I'm not smart at all. I don't know anything, but I taught in a school district for 4 years, and every teacher would call me back into their classes, because I was able to, you know, continue their lessons, and they don't have to pick back up where they started off, you know, whatever, in the schools, like 6 months long assignments and all of that, meeting with teachers, parent teacher conferences and all of that. You know, I was smart enough and not crazy enough to do those things. But when I call you because someone pulled my hair out my head and spat on me, you know, fucking with my private space. You know, I'm not in your private space. I've never knocked on your door. I've never bothered you. I never said hey to you. I've never talked to you. None of that. You get what I'm saying? I respect your privacy. So, you know, when someone's not respecting I called you so you can do your job, and then that's obviously a problem, because, you know, as a police officer, you shouldn't have to do a job for Black people or Black women, you know, because they talk too loud and, you know, they're angry or they're upset. But obviously, if I'm angry and I'm upset, how do you expect me to express my emotions? I'm not going to express my emotions, you know, like the Asian people, or like, you know, the Germany people, or like the Italian people, or like the Venezuelan people. And I hear they a little snappy too. Okay. But you obviously they speak in another language. So it sounds more unique to you than, you know, it actually, you know, sounding too smart. You get what I'm saying? When it comes out of my mouth, it's too smart, it's too aggressive, it's too pressuring, it's too intimidating. It shouldn't be heard, it shouldn't be talked about. So for me to say that, I came on here today because I got a letter, because after I went to my hearing, I went and filed to reopen my case because it was denied. So I hundreds of emails to this Judge Lori, that CPS, she's over CPS, hundreds of emails to the state attorney. I'm in the hearing on the phone. They not letting me use none of this shit. I'm talking about whole busted out teeth out of my mouth. This man that ran into my face twice. They not letting me use none of this shit. Do you hear me? Like none of it. You get what I'm saying? And so they pretty much denied my hearing, and they sent me a paper June 4th. So the person that is supposed to be my guardian ad litem, I gave my son to my ex-husband because I divorced him, went through the divorce, set up a parenting plan so that he can have his child for the school year and I can have for the summer. And I was going to extend it after the first year because I knew I needed to work, you know, and get on my feet and make sure I can stably pay my bills and make sure, you know, I have some stability on my own, because that was kind of like my first time just really being on my own and, you know, knowing that all my bills and everything were going to be up on me. So, then, well, besides college, but that was a little easier because, you know, like you build I built a scholarship, and scholarships, you know, paid for my housing, paid for my food. I don't know if anybody know anything about college scholarships, but when you are an athlete for a school, they'll pay for your tuition, they pay for your books, they pay for your dorm, they pay for your they give you a check so you can pay for your apartment, they give you a check so you can pay for your food. So that's what a scholarship is. You know what I'm saying? You're working so that they can pay for the things that you can't really afford out of your pocket. So those things, you know, were a little bit less challenging. And then my dad fought in the military, so I was able to get a Chapter 35 through him. And if anybody can get a dependency check if you go to college, okay? So they will help you get through college. Even if you are in the military just coming out of school, and you go to college, they'll pay for you to go through. JROTC be the type of work or what you would be committed to in college, similar as being an athlete. You would show up to meetings, you show up to workouts, you might even compete in some JRTC stuff, but they pretty much pay your tuition, pay for your books, and they pay for, you know, all of that. So anyway, I go down to the place to file the appearance to reopen it. The circuit court is supposed to reopen the DCFS case that I had against me. And so I pretty much filled out the paperwork. I never submitted because the place closed. Do you hear me? So I'm supposed to take it back. This is the same place that I was at when the CPS person went after me, told me to go up there and file order protection. I was denied 6 times. That's if I was a liar about what this guy was doing to me. Told me to go there and follow me up to the courthouse and use the people in the courthouse as witnesses against me to say that I had put my child in danger, I harmed him, or I hurt him in some type of manner. Okay, so, you know, it's like, it's hard. It's obviously challenging to keep walking back into that same building, keep reliving those same problems, you know, keep putting myself back in the past, right? Because I'm trying to move forward. I'm going to continue to move forward. You know, I don't care if you keep throwing shit at me, throwing shade, trying to make it seem like I'm not being active, you know, because I called the guardian ad litem today. And it's funny because last week or the week, 2 months ago when I tried to call about my son, my ex-husband hadn't paid the fee, so she refused to talk to me. But she had talked to him for over 30 minutes, but she refused to talk to me until he paid the fee. So she hasn't paid, he hasn't, well, he may have paid the fee just recently, and I just tried to call today. And then at the same time, so I tried to call so I can speak with her because she's to do the investigation, you know, and see whether we're fit parents or safe and secure, and, you know, who the child, well, you know what I'm saying, whether they benefit off the both of us and all of that. That's supposed to be her job, right? So I called her today, didn't get to talk to her, but I received a letter from DuPage County. Now, this is Will County, okay? I received a letter from DuPage County stating that I missed my appearance in court. So I'm looking at the email so that the judge can have a copy, and they will send me an email of whether court waiver. Like I'm looking at my inbox, you know, unless they emailed it to a different email. Never got an email, and I'm really good about checking my emails. Like even when I was at the gym yesterday, I think I checked my email like twice. So I'm really good. A lot of the times my phone and my stuff in my phone gets deleted, or like I can't get on Facebook Live when I choose to, or oh, I thought I had deleted you guys. But I can't get on Facebook Live when I choose to, or I tried to even go into TikTok and like talk about this stuff right then, and it was giving me some problems. So it says like insufficient fund, insufficient storage, or some stuff like that. I don't even know. But at this point, it's like, you know, I can't trust anybody in Illinois. Like I don't know who they're using. I don't know, you know, what type of distractions they're trying to send against me. But all I want is time with my son. Like I don't want any problems with any man. You know, I don't want to be in any relationships. Obviously, when you go through stuff like that and people don't understand the word no, and they're touching you inappropriately, and they're mentally and emotionally fucking abusing you, okay, and then physically like ran into my face, and then turned around and ran into my face and literally broke my fucking teeth out. Like when you know what I'm saying? Like when it gets to that point, it's like, why would I even want to be in a relationship with somebody, or in a relationship period? Or, you know, why would you feel like you need to come and save me? You know, that's what my ex-husband thought. He thought that he needed to come and save me. And it's like, I don't want to be saved. I want to be independent. I want to bring in my own money. Is that okay? I want, you know, to bring in my own income. Is that a problem that I, you know, want to do that? And I don't like to be belittled by men for that manner, or, you know, wanting to have my own sense of independence. Like, what is that a problem? Like, you don't know how I was raised. You don't know where I came from. You don't know why it's important to me. So let me be who I be. You get what I'm saying? And stop trying to make me somebody I'm not. So basically, you know, you're trying to make it seem like that I'm not paying attention, or I'm not keeping up with the stuff that I need to keep up with, when I'm the one who put my son in daycare, okay? I'm the one who put him in childcare when he first started going to school. I'm the one that made sure all his daycare fees were taken care of. I'm talking about my son and me actually caring for him. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to make it seem like I've never been there for my son. I didn't take care of him. You know, I wasn't there. Stayed at home with him for 2 years. Like I said, when I moved over here, his bed was the first room I furnished. I got a 2-bedroom because obviously I'm dating, and there's no reason why, you know, a child should be, you know, in a bedroom with, you know, with the person when if they're having relationships. You know what I'm saying? So I got a 2-bedroom on purpose because I wanted him to learn how, you know, to have his own sense of independency as a little boy, you know. So, you know, I was trying to like build some structure, and I knew that was going to take time, but I was kind of real firm with it because he's never really had structure. But it's okay. So at the same time, like, you know, they're trying to make it seem like I'm not keeping up with the issue, or I'm not on top of it. I don't have anything to do. I've worked on my 2 masters, 2 classes for my master's degree in education. I got A's in those. Education of psychology, so how the mind works. So therefore, I'm not fucking crazy if I can read, type papers, you know, send information to my class, have group class meetings, do a whole project, you know, all of that. You know, had to do a field project for my master's degree and all of that. I had 2 classes, passed those 2 classes, and I've just been chilling because it's like, what's the point of me applying for a job? Every time I go into a temp agency, you know, they're controlled by one ethnicity, and then they want to, you know, sugarcoat you and play with you and play games and shit with you, and I don't have time for that. If I'm not working through a company, then I'm just not going to work. And because, you know, you have these 4 misdemeanors on my name, obviously I'm going to try to apply, but when I do apply, you know, it's not like I don't know what's coming, you know, but I'm gonna try, like I'm gonna move forward and I'm gonna do it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna make sure like I'm HR, like know who that person, know who my manager is and all of that, because like I'm not, you know, want to have any problems or any games. Like I don't even bother people. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm my own person. If me being me bothers you, then that's your own personal problem. But as far as me like, you know, bothering people on purpose, no, I don't. Like I don't pay attention to people that much. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have people like running through my mind or like thinking about people or like, oh, I see somebody, like I'll see you and don't see you. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of person. Like thoughts about you is not running through my head. Like I don't sit up and just think about other people. And if I am, it's more like thinking to better yourself. Like, you know, these are the things that you like progression. You know, I'm more of a progression person. I'm not like trying to be overly cute and, you know, try to be overly, you know, doing too much and stuff like that. I just want to, you know, progress in life, be better than what I was the year before, or, you know, achieve more than what I achieved the year before. And that's simple as that. That's just the type of person I am. But anyway, I go in there and I filed the report, didn't even get to take the copy to the judge, didn't even get an email to say my fee was waived, didn't even know I had a court date set, right? If I'm the plaintiff, I should be setting the court date, right? I get an email saying that the appearance happened. I get a whole email saying that a person from DCFS showed up in court today. And I guess I was supposed to be there because obviously I opened up the case. So basically, you have that on file as basically saying that I'm a no-show to my DCFS case. You get what I'm saying? So obviously you can say, oh, well, you know, she forgot, or she's, you know, it's obviously not important to her. She doesn't care, you know, to be with her son. But if that was the case, then why would I be, you know, asking my ex to set up for me to see him, to bring him over here and all of those things? You know what I'm saying? And that's what he did. Like October, 2 weeks in August, after I was so-called at a temp agency. And they literally called somebody, anonymously called, going to say that I had a gun and I was shooting at the door. Never owned a gun in my fucking life. I had no reason to own a gun. I don't put myself around people or in people places, you know, to be thinking that I need a gun or thinking that I need to defend myself from anyone. You get what I'm saying? I don't go to parties. You know what I'm saying? I'm not around a whole lot of people who have guns or anything. I don't have any friends in Illinois, period. Like I don't talk to nobody. So there's no reason for no one to be bothering me. There's no reason for no one to be, you know what I'm saying, like doing anything out of the way. Like I don't go to clubs. Like I ain't finna walk in the middle of no black ass, dark ass alley. Like none of that shit. Like I'm in my apartment most of the time, on my computer, doing my schoolwork when I had my master's degree, my program was going on, and going to the gym. And then this just past semester, it was an email about coaching boys, and I reached out to the coach, and he opened the door for me to be assistant. Very short season due to the pandemic, but I coached the freshmen in throws because I did track and field as an athlete in college, and it was really great. Like All-American SEC championship. I still hold a hammer record for Mississippi State. And my little plaque on the wall and all of that if you go down there and look at it. So I was able to use some of the things that I've learned and some of the things I experienced and, you know, be helpful to another person who obviously want to learn or throw or, you know, do something in that manner. And so that's what I did, you know. I haven't I don't really like work for the school. Like I work for them, but it's uncontractional. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's hard for me to commit to that because you're not committing to me. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't get benefits. I don't get 401k. I can't go to the doctor when I need to. Like all that stuff is through Medicaid, right? Not through my actual job that I work. So that's difficult for me because, you know, when I do work or when I plan to do work, I plan to give 100. I plan to give all of me. So I guess I expect that in return. And if that's not what you're willing to offer, then I'm not willing to give you my energy, period. Because I know, you know, how hard of a worker I am. You know, and as I feel like, you know, in Illinois, education is pretty much downplayed because they have all these warehouses and factories. You don't need to know how to read, count, think at all to go and stuff a fucking box. Like you don't need, there's not much that you need to know in order to do those jobs. You get what I'm saying? So really, you know, to think that people like are ignorant towards like, you know, just education in general or like the history of Black people, you know, they're really just ignorant towards it or don't really want to talk about it. But that's what we're dealing with today, social justice and how it has, you know, fucked over, you know, people of color, like people like me. So, you know, I went to school 5 years, got a whole damn degree, and can't even apply for a fucking job because, you know, police then wrongfully arrested me. And then, you know, I have a CPS, like my literally ex coming to my house, and he was literally standing right there, and my son was standing right there, right here, right here. And I was in the kitchen. He walked past my son and he said, I hope you have a good life, CJ, because you will never see your mother again. And then he walked out that door. And when he was walking out that door, he said, you're going to work in warehouses and factories like everyone else. That's what he told me. And then the next day, CPS knocks on my door, right? Asked me a whole lot of questions, even followed me downstairs. And I, you know, was thinking like, didn't know at that point that I didn't have a right not to talk to them at all. So I'm walking down the stairs, telling him I want to talk to him. He follows me. I called the police on him. How about the woman who called him shows up on the scene? Shows up on the scene, right? And then going to tell me, I told him, you know, I'm not the problem. Like this guy is the problem. He every morning he gets up and, you know, abuses me, you know, not physically, but emotionally and mentally on purpose because I don't want relationships with him. I told him he can stay here. Like, I don't want to be with you. That's been since like November, since he's fucked around with my son, and I don't really need to trust you. Like, please, like, don't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like certain things you don't do. Like, I really want you out my fucking house. Like, but I didn't want to call the police. Like, why would I call the police on an undocumented person for? You know, that was my thought at that point. Why would I call the police on an undocumented person? I went and got his parents. I went and got his mom and his stepdad. They drove up here to my house right here in this apartment. She walked up here towards the stairs. She's telling him he needs to come out, come home, come to his house. He didn't listen. Guess what she tells me to do? Call the police. So that's what I did. I called the damn police. Okay. So obviously the police can't deal with people like me, you know, because I'm upset at that point. I'm angry. He keeps bothering me. I don't want to be bothered. Get the hell on. Get out of my face. So, you know, I guess in that case that I should have left, you know, left my damn apartment that I worked my ass off for, you know what I'm saying, and living in or whatever. I guess I should have left and allow him to stay here, and never call the police, and then I wouldn't have these problems. But I still would have still had a broken teeth and holes in my wall because he still broke my teeth and literally pushed me against this wall, and it put a hole in the wall, literally. And you know, it's like, why would I sit there and say it if it's not true? You know what I'm saying? Why would I keep bringing it up or saying something about it if I'm lying? Like literally, hey, my whole teeth is missing. My whole fucking teeth is missing. Never in my life. And you know what I'm saying? Like I grew up where, you know, we went to the dentist like once a year. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, we were in the dentist all the time, you know, gotta get a perfect teeth. But I ain't never had teeth problems. I always had a nice smile and everything. This nigga then literally, or he didn't even know nigga, Hispanic guy, undocumented from Panama, literally then ran in my face, boom, turn around, boom, runs in my face again while I'm standing in front of the door. Why am I standing in front of the door? Because he done took my motherfucking keys, thinking he gonna drive off with my car. No, you're not. You don't have any license. You don't have anything. If someone stops you, that's all right to just take my car and impound that motherfucker and leave you on the side of the street. Like, all rights to. And why would I, you know, put myself in that position when I'm struggling, you know, trying to make these ends meet in this house, and you ain't even helping out. You ain't even helping out. Like, you barely fucking working. You can't even keep a job longer than 2 fucking days. Like, that don't make sense to me. Like, period, at all. Why would I keep dealing with that type of stress or those type of problems? So I'm gonna keep coming over here and talking about it because this helps me. This relieves me. This is my peace. This is where, you know, I'm just letting it go. Like, I'm letting it go. Like, you can make me look like a bad parent, you know, obviously my ex, but he did the same thing with his daughter, which is crazy because I sat there beside him while he tried to make his daughter mom look like a bad person and filed for single custody. Like, literally was trying to rip the child out of the mom's life on purpose. Was going to court with her, but they finally got down to joint custody, I believe. And this was back in 2014. That was when my son was first born, because I remember going to the courthouse with him. This is how I know that it was happening, because I was actually in the courthouse standing beside my stupid ass, standing beside this nigga while he trying to rip this daughter out this child life, thinking that she's a bad mother, and no, she's not. She's just not what he wants her to be. You get what I'm saying? She's not doing what he wants her to do. So therefore, I'm gonna frame you and make you look like you somebody. You get what I'm saying? But they end up going towards joint custody or whatever. And now he's trying to relocate and take both her daughter and my son to Georgia. Crazy. Like, this is like unbelievably crazy. You get what I'm saying? It's like, so you now you done found a whole nother wife, like in less than six to 3 months. You mean to tell me you know them? You know them that well? Like, they got siblings? Like, she got kids, or is she pregnant? Like, I am confused. Like, my son's gonna go and have another stepsister. You get what I'm saying? Like, blood is blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't no type of friend is a friend. Sister and brothers are sister and brothers. Like, I ain't treat my daughter no different than I treated her. Like, I treated them the same. Like, to this day, she knows that she can still have a relationship with me. She knows that her stepdaughter, like, took care of her so much that her mom came and knocked on my in-laws' doors to take me out to eat and befriend me. Cause she like, where you come from as a wife. Like, most wives are like, don't like stepchild, make the stepchild feel like bad and they don't supposed to be here. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, the relationships of an adult has nothing to do with that child. You know what I'm saying? Why would I blame a child? You know what I'm saying? Because what, I want a man all to myself? No, like, that's crazy. They're siblings, they're brothers and sisters, and from the beginning I knew that, and they didn't get treated any different. Whatever I did for him, if I took him swimming or took him out or took him to play or whatever, I did the same stuff for her. Washed her hair, did her hair, all that type of stuff when she was sitting at home during the summertime. Took her for bike rides and played with him outside, kickball, played in the black water balloons, all that. Because my ex is actually so light skinned that he gets sunburned, right? So all the playing, going to the park, going to the zoo, all this stuff, me, 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 and it's like, so how would you, like, just last year, you was telling me, year before last, put my ex out of here and move you in. So now you're saying that I'm just this bad mother and you don't want my son around me at all. Just last year you came in my house asking me to be in a relationship with you sexually in December. And that was the reason why you were bringing my son over. You get what I'm saying? Like, that shit, you're using my son, to manipulate me. And so ain't that's what women do? Like, it shouldn't be the other way around. Shouldn't it be like me having my son and like, oh, if you don't take care of my son, I'm not going to, like, ain't that what bitches do? Like, seriously, like, girls, like, I'm just being black. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Like, but you playing that role. Like, you playing that role and you call yourself a man, but you still live in your parents' house. Like, you can't even afford to pay for your own rent so a woman can come in your house and take care of your kids. But you want me to have another child? You want me to have a second child besides CJ, and you struggling to taking care of the first two? No, I didn't want to bring in my kid. I didn't want to bring my kids in a life of struggle. You know what I'm saying? I wanted things already in place, the house in place, the cars in place, life's in place. Like, I didn't mind being a stay-at-home mom if I was actually a stay-at-home mom in my own fucking place. Does that make sense? Like, but I'm not going to keep popping out your fucking kids in the room that you were born in. Like, how many more kids are we going to have up in here? Like, how much of a mother do you expect me to be if you can't even take care of me as a fucking wife? Like, you can't put this label on me and say, be mommy, 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 mommy. And, you're not meeting my needs or taking care of me. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. So now, I have CPS and all these people trying to make it seem like I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care to do the things I need to do to be in my son's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I went and filed the appeal, you never sent me an email. But today I call the guardian ad litem and let her know, she can call me, she can come over, she can do whatever she needs to do, to see that I'm not putting my child in danger or putting him in harm, and he should be able to come over here and have time and relationships with me. You can do whatever you need to do, but she hasn't called me back. But I get an email from DuPage County Courthouse today. Let me see what time that was. So supposedly a woman named Danielle appeared in court today as a defendant of CPS for me to, come up and be able so they can hear my case. But like I said, I never got an email saying that my court, by the time I was finished submitting all the papers, it was 4:30. That was a Friday. It was a Friday evening. It was 4:30 and everybody was walking out. People were going home. It was Friday. They were leaving. They were going home. So you waived my fees and set me a court date, right? Which was today. And I never got an email on any of those. You get what I'm saying? If I'm the plaintiff, I'm supposed to make that step. I'm the person who opened the case. I'm supposed to set the court date, right? So why is a court date already been set? And I guess I was supposed to appear. None of my evidence is put in the system or anything. So what am I appearing off of? I'm appearing off of everything that DCF has. So it's real foul. Like it's really foul. And they really just put you in a place where, you know, they try to just make you seem like you don't care, or you're not trying to be a mother of your child, or you're not trying to be in his life, or if you don't want anything to do with me. And if anything, like that's honestly like the biggest hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like the biggest pain. Like when I think about that, like not having that relationship with my son or him not being around, like that's like the most like, you know, the one that I'm gonna have to like really work to like move forward and like kind of let go. And like my mindset is that he's with his biological father. You know, that's what helps me cope. You know what I'm saying? He's in a Christian family. He's going to be educated. You know what I'm saying? He's in an educated family. And what else? Just the fact to know that he's not just in somebody's random home that's, you know, adopted him just to get a check, or he's not being sold off, because we don't really know how corrupt these CPS people can be. You get what I'm saying? Being sold off in some type of black market, you know, or child pedophilia type, you know, thing, which they are. You know, people drink kids' blood and all types of shit. So I know telling what they selling these kids out for these days. So you know, I just pray to, I just thank God that that didn't happen. You get what I'm saying? Like, okay, you wrote this shit over my name. That's fine. I'll find a business, you know what I'm saying? I'll start going into stock market. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't gonna be the end of me, and it ain't gonna be forever. I'm still gonna get my master's in education. When it breaks loose, guess what? I'm still gonna go into the job that I plan to. And what you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? 100 people can say fucking no. No, 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 no. But guess what? That one yes, I'm gonna walk on that one yes. So you get what I'm saying? Like I'm not the person you can sit around and you can listen to me, watch me, monitor my behaviors, you know, all the things that, you know, see, that's why they got this. I'm wondering why this city got this big children's hospital and got all these people think they fucking mental. Like it starts with your mind, right? It starts with your mind. So if people is constantly fucking with your mind and telling you to think a certain way, or telling you this is how you supposed to feel about stuff, or telling you this is how you supposed to act, or how you supposed to react to different things, then they control you. They got full fucking control over you. And they can think to make you think that you're crazy, then they have full control over you. And that's something I would not let them, because I know where I was born and raised, and I know who fucking raised me, and I know I ain't never been crazy in my motherfucking life. Like I went through 10 motherfucking schools in elementary and still graduated at the top of my motherfucking class. Okay, do you hear me? Okay, and got friends and everything down south, and they will let you know ain't shit about me crazy people. Atlanta, Georgia, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. But at this point, you know, since I have these misdemeanors on my name, I can't even leave out the state. I had to ask permission to leave out the state to go get my driver's license, because my driver's license needed to be renewed on my birthday, which was May the 11th. And so I drove down a couple of weeks before, got my license, and came back up here. Okay, no problem. Like I wasn't planning on leaving anyway. That's why I moved over here temporarily, so I can be close to my job, which I've been working in school just 4 years, and close to my son, which is 10 minutes away from me. That's what I plan to do, and that's why I moved over here. That's literally, I was going to get my degree, and however long it takes, 2 years, 3 years, I would maybe try to, I was even thinking about sitting here and paying off my student loans, because if my income changes, you know, that don't mean I should change how much I'm actually spending. And I was going to take that other money and just wipe off my student loans. But somebody said, well, why won't you take that and invest it, get some type of cash flow, and then come back and pay off your student loans with your own personal passive income? And I said, you know what, that's pretty smart. You know, have my own personal income first before I, you know, try to give something back that didn't even obviously give me the job that is, you know, quote unquote, you know, college bound, or whatever you want to call it. So, you know, I didn't think that was a bad idea. But like this temporary from anyway, it's not like I move it in here. Oh, I'm gonna stay here to the rest of my life until I die and turn gray and old. Hell no, like that ain't for me. I never thought that's what I was going to do. That was never the plan. So you know what I'm saying? Whether you try to take everything away or try to push me out or whatever, you just pushing me closer to where I'm supposed to be. Because like I said, I never was planning on staying here permanently. Like I was only temporarily. So you just making me move a little faster, and that's fine. Like I'll live in my car. I'll do whatever I need to do. You know what I'm saying? To make myself be able to become the person that I want to become, income wise, and being able to take care of my own self. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I won't dare let it break me. I won't dare let it change me. I won't dare let it mold me into a person that I'm not. Because I'm gonna stay true to me. I'm gonna stay true to who I am. You can let, like all this stuff, trying to make it seem like I don't want to be in my son's life. And honestly, my son is like the most important thing to me. And for a police officer, a woman police officer, to walk in my house, see a trampoline, a basketball goal, right? All the stuff in the room is totally for my son, and call a child protective services as if you see all this stuff. Everything's in here for him. Nothing was in here for me. Nothing in here for Miguel, the undocumented person that I was dating. Nothing. Literally everything in here was for my son. So at what point did that make you feel like that he was neglected? I mean, belly, my son belly sticking out here. Like, don't even need to eat a meal. Need to go running and go jogging and wake up in the morning and do an exercise. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's my prerogative. He's my child. You can't tell me what I should or should do with my child. I don't want my child getting older and having heart problems, high blood pressure and diabetes and all this bullshit that most people probably got and don't even know they fucking got, because they don't even go to the hospital and just overweight and sitting on their ass and don't have no source of way of being active or relieving their stress or whatever. I don't want my child to be that person. Maybe he wants to play sports when he get older. Well, guess what? Start making them active and move around now. Okay, so it'll be easier for them when they get older. Okay, it won't be something new for them, something they've never done, and they have never worked hard in their life. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden someone's telling them, oh, you gotta work hard to be here. And that was me. You get what I'm saying? Like, I played sports in the middle of the street with my brothers and stuff like that, but like getting up in the morning, having to, or forced to, or having that structure. And that was my coach told me. She said the only thing that hurt you in school is, she's like, you're too free. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, no structure. You get what I'm saying? Like, because my mom kind of let us do that. We didn't have to be in a house at a certain time, or like, even though like I just worked, honestly, so it wasn't like I was just out doing stuff, or like, when she worked, so I would get up and take myself to school and help my sister get ready and make sure we went to school and stuff like that. So as far as like forcing us to get up in the morning and being on the schedule and stuff like that, she never really put that in. But when I got to college, I had to. And so that was a struggle for me. You know what I'm saying? It was a struggle for me having to get up and be on a turf at 4:30 in the morning, ready to work out. You know what I'm saying? That was a struggle for me. And so that was, my coach was telling me, she was like, you just needed more discipline. And you probably would have been even better than what you accomplished. And I accomplished that just off hard work and no discipline. So imagine what I could accomplish if I set foot to go out there or choose to go out there again. And that might just be an option, because I love to throw hammer. I love that sport. I love to throw discus and shot, and I love to throw hammer. And I got really good at it. So, I might pick it back up, throw 250 and be an Olympic, be in the Olympics in the next 4 years. Who knows? But what I won't speak on myself is, downgrading. What I won't speak on myself, what I'm saying, is settling. What I won't speak on myself is giving in to who you think or who you're trying to frame me as, because, all, Black women are like this. All Asian women are, all Hispanic women. No, I won't let you frame me into being nobody but who the fuck I am. And if you don't see that, then that's your problem. That's your own personal perspective. There was some mental brainwash issues that your parents have taught you, and you growing up. Just like, it was this kid, pretty much in Myers one day. He was a Hispanic kid. He was with his mom, and he looked at me. And he pretty much was letting me know, like, he didn't like me. He said it. He's like, basically, like, he don't like Black people. So imagine that kid growing up. You've already ingrained that in their head at 7 to 8 years old. Imagine him growing up being a police officer. So who he gonna go for? Who he thinks the robber? Who he thinks the stealer? Who he thinks is the person that did something wrong? You know what I'm saying? Even if it's the other person, you've been brain mentally. Your parents have mentally taught you this shit. So it's sitting in your head. Literally, my mom has never taught me to be racist. My coach in high school, who sent me to college, who dropped me off, who took me to my visitations and put me in volleyball camps, and was a white man. Literally, a white man, Coach K. a white man who stayed on the west side of Jackson. He didn't move when all the white people moved out of West Jackson. You get what I'm saying? Just like city in Chicago, right? Everybody started moving out. Blacks started moving. Everybody started moving out, right? South side, everybody started moving out, right? Same thing happened in the city of Jackson. Same thing that happened in most of these cities. Okay, it's just it's history. It's called redlining. Okay, I'm gonna put these type of projects in here. These are only shit you can't afford. So this is where the fuck you gonna stay. And the shit that you can't afford in the suburbs, we gonna make sure your ass can't afford it. These houses, we gonna make sure your ass can't afford it. We gonna put credit limits on our new apartments right now, so we gonna make sure your ass can't be able to move in. That's what the fuck it is. It's fucking redlining. And so I lived in the city in West Jackson, obviously over time, more and more black people, but he didn't move out. He stayed there. He worked in our school district. And he like produced a lot of us as athletes, like a lot of us volleyball, and track and field. Coach K, he was that guy. Like my daddy died when I was 15. So he don't even realize that he kind of took his place. Like he literally doesn't realize that. And I had to I think I let him know that just this recently. You know what I'm saying? That you were more of a father figure to me than anything. Because he, just went out his way. Like he would make sure I got to work. He would make sure if my mom was working that I got to my meets. Like I remember like our regional meets, and all that kind of stuff. When they're like on a Saturday, my mom working, I don't have transportation, I don't have a car. He would get a big ass van, a big ass bus, and pick all our ass up, and we'll be at the track meet. You get what I'm saying? Like that's the type of stuff he did for us, and he kind of just looked out for us and kept us probably from a lot of shit. You get what I'm saying? Because I know telling drugs, gangs, all that stuff. My baby. So it's like if I wanted to take that route, if I wanted to be on that type side of the system, you know what I'm saying? If I wanted to be in those situations, I could have did that shit a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So if I ain't choosing then, what makes you think I'm gonna choose it now? I'm not. You can fuck off. Like you can fuck off. It's just not me. I don't want to do it. It's not who I am. It's not what I want to be. And I'm not gonna be it. Not for you and not for no fucking body. I don't care how many times you try to frame me, how many people you try to send and put this mental, block on me or whatever, you get what I'm saying? Or, try to make, send people and try to persuade you into a certain way of thinking or a certain way of acting or, or try to label you when they hear shit and say, oh, that's you. Fuck you. Like straight up, fuck you. At the end of the day, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Like, fuck you. Like, I'm going to be me. So fuck you. I'm going to be me, period. At the end of the day. So it's what it is. Obviously the system is corrupt. I still got the papers downstairs sitting in my car. I never went and filed them, but obviously I had an appearance in court. So I have until July 4th to refile them. I'm just going to take all the paperwork up there and see if they're going to give me a hard time and make, some type of stipulations to say I'm not able to file them or, I can't, get it or it's too late or make it where it prolongs and the time pass by so it can be too late. All that bullshit, it's just like really just crappy. It's crappy as fuck and I really don't have time for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not going to not be happy every day. I'm not going to wake up mentally depressed and, full of anxiety and all crazy in the head or whatever because I got misdemeanors over my name because you took my child from me. I'm glad I grew up where I grew up at. Seeing my brother with 10 kids and 4 baby mamas and one of my nieces having almost 10 kids. I'm glad I grew up around that because I feel like, strength wise, it's kind of prepared me for what they've done to me. Like I've seen it, even though I haven't experienced it, I feel like a person, if they've never seen it, if they've been in this perfect suburban household where everything's all good and nice and, life is just so perfect. And then you get out and then all of a sudden you experience something like that. That would literally destroy somebody because the feelings that I felt, just on account of, just on account of me going through it has been very tough on the inside. But, I feel like if I would have never experienced it coming out of the city, seeing people fucked up by the system all the time, seeing people, being put in positions where they, give their kids up for adoption or feel like they just can't take care of them kids themselves. So they give it to grandma or give it to auntie or something like that. Like I saw my niece, like it was at one point I even wanted to adopt one of my nieces because, one of my nieces wasn't just being the mother that she should be. But my mom was like, you're going to college, like that'll be too much. Like I had fell in love with the girl and she was always with me and stuff. And so I did. And so my niece still looks back and like TT, like, thank you. Like I love you. I'm always there for you. And that's what they call me, TT. So that's just what it is. It's like I'm not like I would sit here, I'll figure out some source of income to be able to pay my bills. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna let it stress me out, not let it change me, not let it make me to a person. Baby, no revenge. God got me. Forgive you. I'm gonna move on and I'm gonna keep on moving towards filing my papers, put myself in a position where I actually want to be with myself. Like, if anything, like, you think about taking a job or a career or some of that bullshit. No, I was going to take my job and invest in something from the dough. I always wanted cash flow. You get what I'm saying? So that's just pushing me to go that direction even faster. That's all. You're just pushing me to go that way even fucking faster. So you think by doing that to me, like, oh, my life is going to be destroyed or ruined, I'm just going to forget, stop going towards my dreams and want to die. And, oh, my life is so depressed and I have so much. No, like, it hurts. Like, literally, yeah, it hurts. But like I said, I feel like if the person would never experienced it, they probably would be in that detrimental state where they feel like they need, to go and be psychotically, pills and all that. No, you're not finna do that. You got me fucked up. You got me totally fucked up. I'm not taking no motherfucking pills. None of that shit. I've been teaching your motherfucking kids for 4 years. You got teachers calling me, wanting me to be in their classroom with these kids. And now you gonna sit here and try to label me as crazy at the motherfucking age of 31? Bitch, if you ain't label me crazy at 10, bitch, don't try to label me crazy at 31. Fuck you talk about. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You must have lost your motherfucking mind. And I need to obviously help you motherfucking find it. You got the wrong one, bitch. I am too motherfucking strong for your dumb ass, ignorant ass moves. Like, seriously. You're trying to make it seem like I'm not a good mother to my child. Like, I'm not making the necessary decisions. I put him with my motherfucking husband so I can get on my motherfucking feet. So how is that not a big sacrifice at all? Like, what the fuck? You think I'm just sitting in here trying to be with a motherfucking man? Bitch, no, fuck a man. Fuck you. That's exactly what you want. Fuck you. Period. That's all you want anyway. So fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, it's never been my priority. A man has never been my priority. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, who doesn't want a partner? But a man just like, oh, I'm going to put them before my child. Fuck no. Fuck you. Anything you think on, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, why would I be trying to get this nigga out of my house? Because I didn't want my son to think that it was okay for him to treat me like that in front of my goddamn son. So then my son growing up and thinking that it's okay to treat me like that, any other woman that he comes into contact with, right? When a woman say no, so touch her anyway, right? When a woman say no, just touch her anyway, because that's just against the law, right? But obviously my voice is against the law. The way I talk is intimidating and harassing. When I tell people how I feel and where the fuck I'm coming from, that's intimidating and harassment. My voice is fucking illegal. And you think I'm gonna stop talking? No, motherfucker, because Martin Luther King didn't stop talking, bitch. I had a motherfucking dream, bitch. You can kill me to the day I die. I'll go up there with all my motherfucking family and friends, bitch. No problem. No problem. No motherfucking problem. Period. But you don't get to hear to say that my voice is illegal when the first motherfucking amendment is freedom of motherfucking speech, bitch. It's the first motherfucking amendment. I can talk as much as I please, bitch. I am not harassing you. That's a motherfucking lie. That is a lie. And if you feel intimidated, you just can't handle how a black person talks. That's the fuck it is. You can't handle how a motherfucker speaks. So what? I'm not gonna change who the fuck I am to make you fucking comfortable. Period. And that's the end of my motherfucking YouTube.